The new people coming to crypto next year aren't going to care about the pain that me and you are feeling this year. You know how I know? Because the new people in 2016 and 2017 didn't care about the pain I felt in 2015. So let's just think about this. I've heard a lot of people say, well, why would crypto need to pump again? Everybody was sort of exposed to it. It was on Ellen. She was talking about Ripple. She was talking about the Ledger Nano. You know, people were making fun of BitConnect. PewDiePie, biggest YouTuber in the world, was making fun of BitConnect. Kind of the joke's out. Everybody knows about crypto. But I'll tell you what, like, you can pretty much bet that there's a lot of people who have known about the stock market for a long time. Maybe didn't have the money to invest, this and that. It doesn't mean that stock market's going to go away. And I know what somebody's going to say. They're going to say, well, that's different. Those companies have earnings. It's a different kind of market. And you could say, yeah. But in the end, even if you say that crypto is 95% speculation, the stock market speculation as well. Those stocks are only worth as much as somebody is willing to pay for them, just like crypto. There's nothing that says, well, this price to earnings ratio needs to be under 20, or it needs to be under 30, or it needs to be under this, or it's an absolutely not a buy. Because at the end of the day, if somebody's willing to pay for something that has, you know, a particular price to earnings ratio or certain earnings per share or those kind of metrics, then they bought it, and that's it. It's a buy order, and the price could potentially go up if there's more buys than sells. So at the end of the day, it's just worth as much as somebody's willing to pay for it. Same thing with properties in different areas of the country. You look at properties in Telluride, Colorado, it is absolutely insane. And you know, you can say that for so many different areas of the country, and you're like, why is it worth that much? It's worth that much because somebody was willing to pay for it. So what do I think about the crypto market as far as, you know, what could happen kind of as the future goes on? Well, at the end of the day, there's just been too much of a track history that, you know, we've had 4 boom and bust cycles previously. So people are just going to bank on that. And that's honestly one of the things that I'm banking on. Now, could it all potentially collapse and go to zero? Yeah, but that's actually very unlikely. Just kind of judging other markets throughout history. A lot of people say, well, we're no closer. You could say that in 2017, we were no closer for Bitcoin to become some sort of world currency or some sort of usable digital currency than we were in 2013. Actually, we had regressed in a lot of ways. The fees were out of control, blocks were filled up. Bitcoin Core didn't want to do anything, you know, about it. I know, you know, with SegWit and Lightning Network, yada, yada, yada. But really, in a lot of ways, that network is not necessarily any more usable than it used to be. It was actually more usable in 2013, but that didn't stop that pump. And then some people say, well, there was all this manipulation, and that's why it went up to 20,000. Well, then if you go back to 2013, you can say, well, there were these potential bots that were running on Mt. Gox, and that was 60 or 70% of the crypto market was this volume that was coming from Mt. Gox that ultimately went bankrupt. So you can say, well, that was manipulated. That was a manipulated pump. But then we had a future pump. We had the pump in 2017 and early 2018. So, you know, we look for reasons why it goes up. We look for reasons for why it goes down. But at the end of the day, it's just inconceivable that it's not going to make a similar trajectory. Now, whether that happens in 4 months, or that happens in 6 months, or it happens in a year, or we have to wait till the next halving and all that kind of stuff, is really hard to say. I would hope that we can get away from this whole situation of relying on Bitcoin price to kind of dictate the entire crypto market. Now, there's a certain reasons why there would be more sell pressure on Ethereum right now, because of all these ICOs having to sell out of their positions and stuff like that. And I was saying that actually mid 2017, the pump went way longer than I thought it would. But even when Ethereum was around 400 the first time on the way up, I was saying that, a lot of other people were saying that the weight of the ICOs of everybody selling their Ethereum that they collected in these ICOs would weigh down the price of Ethereum, and it could potentially implode. The price could implode. Now it pumped clear up to like 1400, and that lasted way longer than it did. And most bubbles do. They'll last way longer than you think that they can last. And the down periods can last way longer than you think that they could. So thinking of that, it just depends, how much pain are you feeling and how much pain do you think everybody else is feeling. Now you see some of the stuff that I'm doing. I'm purchasing crypto the other night, and I actually didn't film this. I did put something on Steemit, but I bought another like 750 EOS. I actually got a price of like $2.80, which I was happy about. You know, we would all love for the price to just, you know, shoot up past 10, past 20, past 100, you know, all that kind of stuff. And simply right now it's getting pressed down. So this is an opportunity to buy. I have not, as far as technology is concerned, as far as what EOS is capable of, my conviction for that project, based on my knowledge and experience, has not waned any. So I continue to buy, and I continue to buy other projects as well. I bought some Monero again, even though I kind of have a long history with Monero, because I originally was one of the first miners back in 2014 mining Monero. So but at these price levels I was reaccumulating. So bought a little bit of that. I actually bought a little bit of Ethereum Classic as well, and some people might say, well, why would you do that? It has more to do with the fact that it is on Coinbase and it's on these other major exchanges like Kraken. And I think that when we start to go up again, all boats will rise. But it's not like a bunch of people did ICOs on Ethereum Classic versus Ethereum. So, you know, we'll kind of see with that. It might actually, there's always these filled up blocks on Ethereum. Ethereum Classic doesn't have as much transaction volume going through it. So if the tide does rise and the Ethereum network totally gets choked off, a lot of people might gravitate to using Ethereum Classic over using Ethereum or Litecoin, or definitely Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's too slow to move from like alternative exchanges to the fiat gateways like Coinbase or Kraken. So at the end of the day, I guess my point of this video is the pain that you are feeling right now, and you're like, this thing is not going to end, this is terrible, I don't know if crypto will ever go up again. The new people aren't going to, they're not going to, even if they look at the charts and they're like, well, it went up then, and they didn't feel that pain, they didn't feel the agony that we have felt, you know, day after day, week after week, month after month. To them, it didn't happen, you know. So at the end of the day, they don't feel it, and they're new to it, and they're like, wow, this has a lot of potential, and they're going to feel like they're in early. I felt like I was in early in 2013. You probably thought you were early in 2017, and the people coming in 2018, 2019, they're going to feel like they're early. And at the end of the day, they kind of are. So anyway, what kind of crypto, what crypto you guys buying? What kind of price points you looking for? Follow me on all social media at Brian Phobos, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Steemit. See you guys later.